Welcome to the Tyese Show, News and Ooze, where you get your news, but you'll also get your ooze. I am your hostess with the mostest, Tyese. Thank you for joining us this evening. And you know how we do? Ask you to do me a favor that before I go any further, make sure you download the Coyoteman show on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, and your mobile apps. And also, you can watch us live, and you can even talk to me live at www.coyotemanonline.com. Thank you. Now, we're going to jump right in with me introducing my lovely guest for today. This young lady is an award-winning now restaurant owner. She also owns a non-profit called Humanity. Okay, and she's a co-host of Women Talk Live. So we're going to get into all of those details, okay, all the nitty-gritty. And her name is Miss Kimberly Ellis.
Thanks so much. You make me sound so interested.
You are.
I want to get to know me.
Oh, you should. You should
okay.
always get to know yourself.
Okay, that's pre-dating, but that's a whole nother show. Okay, that could
Right.
go into the topic therapy. Yes, okay, pre-dating. We'll discuss.
You know how you know me and my therapy.
Yes. Okay, I'll be good. Okay.
So I definitely want to thank you for coming on the show today.
Thanks for
Okay,
having
we're
me.
gonna have a good time. Now, you know how we do. We have to start with our news. And the first thing I'm going to talk about this evening is very recent, and it's in regards to a gentleman who is a correctional officer. And what he did that's ended up being newsworthy is he posed as a police officer, okay, put on a vest, it has police written on the front, and what he did was he created a video where he's pretending to be a recruiter for the police department, work at the police department, police officer, and recruit for them. Now, the significance of this is that he's mocking the police department's the way that they have handled Breonna Taylor. Okay, so the irony, okay, is that he was fired immediately, and this is in Louisville, Kentucky. The police department in Louisville, Kentucky, of course, called the video absolutely disgusting, and he was fired immediately. Now, the reason why I say it's ironic is because look how long it took to do all of the investigation into Breonna Taylor's death.
Murder?
Thank you.
Okay. Because words matter.
Yes. And the 4 police officers that were responsible for that. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I just found that very interesting, that video, and it's out. It's on YouTube. I would definitely be surprised if somehow it does not get taken down. I'm sure it probably will. Of course, he's black, and now when he's making this video, he says he actually mentions Breonna Taylor, and he says, yes, like recruiting for the police department, come on, make a difference, and don't worry about Breonna Taylor, we got rid of her.
Okay, so I just have a few, issues on both parts. Like, I don't think that making a mockery of Breonna Taylor or utilizing her name, her likeness, her image, etc., is appropriate. This is a young woman who actually was a public servant, who was home living life and was murdered by the police officers without charges being taken. So the solemnness of her murder, I think, he's in poor taste for that. Him losing his job, he's a public servant. You're a corrections officer, you're making fun of the police. At the end of the day, I think that we have to really recognize the things that we really fight for. And if he had a platform where he felt like, I don't know how many views he may have had prior to, making this parody of the police department, but use your platform for the uplift and the elevation and the information of people. And at the end of the day, right here, right now, like, we're at war. Let's really talk about what's going on. Like, okay, I get it, dude. You had your 15, seconds of, whatever. You lost your job. But do I think he should have lost his job? I'm sure there are moral clauses that they apply to whom they want to apply it to make it applicable.
Yes.
But, at the end of the day, yeah, I kind of get it, the whole parody. I haven't seen the video, but given what you're saying, like, it's just in poor taste to utilize her name, her likeness, and image in any way that is comical, jovial, mockery, anything. It's a really serious thing. So, yeah. Yeah.
And I get exactly what you're saying, that it was in poor taste. That was, not really the way to handle that sort of thing. We protest for a reason. We have peaceful protests for a reason. Our ancestors, what they've done, and sit-ins, and things like that. But we protest, that it just wasn't the way to, to do things as far as mocking the police department. And he had to know that he would get fired.
Oh, so, I don't mind him mocking the police department. Let's just be clear. The police are the least of my concerns. In this particular narrative, they are a non-issue. Oh, yes. I'm really talking about Breonna Taylor. Like, you could say what you want about police officers, and do not get me wrong. Let's not have a whole, blue lives, that type of discussion, because I understand there's good and bad in everything. However, given the current climate, I'm just saying, you guys are not, shown in the best particular light. And there are so many incidences, even of late, that show that white people statistically, generally, 9 times out of 10, go home unarmed. Hence, white lady in the back of a patrol car who got a firearm and started shooting people. Versus a young man whom my apologies because there are too many to mention, that was shot in his bed over a search warrant when he had a vape in his hand. So We're talking about last week. So yeah, the whole police is, disrespect of the police and so on and so forth. People have a right to be angry. People have a right to protest. People have a right to make a joke of what is in actuality. People laugh through pain. So that part aside, but the Breonna aspect, yes, much respect to, Miss Taylor's family, loved ones, so on and so forth. But yeah, I think that was just done in poor taste. But anything else regarding the police, it's comedy. At this point. So
you have a very good point. Very good point. So now I want to move on with the news in a positive manner, okay? And that is all that black girl magic and popping melanin going on, okay, with Miss Serena Williams. Yes. So look, she has done so much that I'm gonna read. Okay.
You have no choice. It's a long list.
It's a long list. My girl been doing.
You gonna put on your glass? Don't miss a thing.
Because you
don't miss a thing.
You know I'm getting older now. No, I'm not gonna say getting old.
I was gonna say we're not gonna say that because how long we were just discussing how long we've known each other.
Yes, we have known each other many years. I'm not gonna say.
There you go. That's good.
I'm not gonna say. However, okay, here I go with Miss Serena Williams' accomplishments here. Okay, all right. So now, 73 singles titles.
Wow.
23 doubles titles, 2 Grand Slam mixed doubles titles, 14 Grand Slam doubles titles.
Wow.
23 Grand Slam singles titles, and 4 Olympic golds. Yes.
Yes, definitely. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Round of applause. Yes. I like it.
Yes. Hats off.
I like it. Yes. I mean, she's iconic.
You know what I love best about Serena Williams? I love the fact that she is beauty and her blackness, she's thick and she's real, like she looks like us and she's not, you know what I mean?
Lovely.
Like she's doing it
blackity black.
Yeah, and I really love the fact that she thanked her dad when it was all over, because at the end of the day, even with the Janet Jackson documentary that had come out regarding, you know, her life, she thanked her dad. And I think that dads were really given bad credit by the press. Like, you know, they viewed Richard as being overbearing and, you know, you looked at Joe Jackson as being abusive. But to hear it from their daughters, to say that, you know, this was who my daddy was and this is who my dad was. And we, you know, as Black women, we understand the significance of that male role model in our lives, even if he was or was not there. And so, you know, hats off to Serena Williams. Honey, what, you ain't gotta do nothing else. You had me, you know, I picked up tennis in undergrad and I picked up tennis. That was it. Like I picked up a racket, they needed an extra player. Like it was that it. But yeah, that God-given talent, that beauty and that strength, like you represented us so well on so many levels. And I'm just grateful that the world got to see you in all of your beauty and for you to excel at what you chose to do. It was just wonderful. It was really wonderful. So yeah. Good looking girl for hollering out for Miss Serena Williams.
Oh yes. And I remember when the movie you know came out, you know,
Richard.
about about her dad Richard and how he trained her in Venus. And when I found out that movie was coming out, I mean, I ran to the movie theater, and there was no sitting and watching that at home. I was not going to sit and watch that, wait for it to come out on Netflix or something and watch it at home. Like I had to get to the movie theater to see that.
And that's important.
Oh yes, and it was compelling. It was compelling, and even in me counseling young teenagers and young girls, I recommend that they watch this. You know, I've had a few watch this and then we sit and talk about it, and because she has overcome racism, sexism,
colorism, because you know we come with our own stuff. Yes, that's right.
All of that. So,
size. Is sizeism a word? If not, Kimberly Ellis tagged that word. Sizeism.
There you go.
Exactly. She's not that. She's not that waif size. She's a real woman, which is why I really loved her in that Beyonce video.
Oh my God. Talk about it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to learn to twerk. Okay, that's a whole nother show. I'm sorry. I forgot where I was for a second.
Maybe we'll have a show where, we twerk a little bit at a later date.
No, that's pay TV, honey.
So there you go. You got to pay. You got to pay to play.
Got my headphones on.
You want to see some twerking over here? Yeah, you're going to have to pay.
Okay.
Look, Even though we have, we're seasoned.
Yes, seasoned, vintage. I like that. Yes,
exactly. That's the word.
Yes. Don't get it twisted. I could go to high school and get them girls a run for their money.
I hear that.
No, I wouldn't. I sure would not. Let me not even lie. No. We're gonna keep this 100.
Look. Meanwhile, my knees probably wouldn't last.
Girl, please.
I probably got about
my patience alone.
I have a minute.
I'll be like, what did you just say? Never mind. Who do you like music wise? Never mind.
Right.
Although I did watch Little Baby's documentary, and I'm a fan. What? Oh my God, I am.
Okay, I'm gonna have to.
You have to watch it. I am a fan. I'm a fan of I'm a fan of us who excel, and to really listen to watch his documentary. His mom said that he went to school. She got a call to go to school, and his teacher told her that he had missed 60 days of class, came in and took the exam, passed, and was the only kid that passed the exam. And so when you have somebody like that, I kind of understand why he didn't go to school if he was so, where it's boring to him. And then you have, if you recall a few years back, because we're both Baltimore City College grads, let's, whoop whoop, City Knights, C4E,
shout
forever.
Out City College High School.
Yes. But to really think about the fact that just a few years ago, they came out with the statistics that, there were schools that had 0 proficiency in math, English, and science, and 4 of them were high schools. How does that happen?
Right.
And so when so for him and, his ability to really focus, and given where he's from, anybody that gets it out the mud gets my vote. Because we all, are really striving to do better and to be a beacon and to really elevate ourselves. Like you, my girl, my sister, Miss Queen Tyese of the Tyese show. Yes, thank you.
On that note, we are going to take a pause for the cause, take a break, pay some bills, but you be sure to return to the Tyese show, news and ooh.
What's good? It's your boy Squirrel Wide. Hey, you know where I'm going to be September 10th? I'm going to be right here at Clifton Park for the Riff on the Cliff Fest, brought to you by Fat Brand and Iconic. It's going to be crazy. It's all featuring Dream Dog, Young Moose, Rough Ends. Who else going to be there? Scola, IZM 400, Brett Sears, Miami Mills, BRM Stunton, Lil Ty. A little bit of everybody's going to be there. Big festival, 2 stages. You don't want to miss it. You need any information on it, all you got to do is go riffonthecliffest.org. See you there, Big Mouth.
Fat Brand presents the first annual Riff on the Cliff Music and Arts Festival, featuring Dream Dog, Young Moose, Scola De Niro of Blue Hill, J Grams, Rough Ends, and many, many more. All happening Saturday, September 10th at 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's all happening at Clifton Park, 2801 Harford Road. Get your tickets today at riffonthecliffest.org. Sponsored in part by Iconic Entertainment and the Funds Unlimited Group.
Y'all, I'm just acting up. We're back. Oh, yes. The Tyese Show, news and ooze. Thank you for returning. Now, before we get into all the awesomeness of my guests, I want to send my shout outs to Riff on the Cliff Music Arts Festival. You still have time to get tickets at riffonthecliffest.org. All right? Now, Miss Kimberly Ellis.
Okay.
My beautiful guest. My queen. My beautiful queen. Okay. All right. So,
yes,
we have so much to get into because, you're such a wonderful person. Okay. So now, tell everyone about your award-winning restaurants. Oh, and catering business.
Okay, so I am the chef and owner of Breaking Bread Restaurant. We are currently developing property at 220 through 224 Park Avenue. We're doing a development so that you guys will be able to come sit down, have a nice environment. We still currently do catering, so if you're looking for catering, you can find us at breakingbreadnation.com, or you can reach me at 443-708-1903. I think that's the number. Yeah, I should be really better at this. Outside of that, I mean, we have Humanity, which is our nonprofit, which is really the best part of what Breaking Bread has allowed us to do. We actually fed over 100,000 people in a partnership that we have with Chef Jose Andres with World Central Kitchen during the COVID shutdown. Beautiful. Which was such a blessing, because with that particular program, we were specific to our neighborhood. So these were people that looked like me, that grew up in neighborhoods that I grew up in. And so it was really food for the soul. It was kind of really all about what Breaking Bread was all about. So yeah, I mean, the restaurant's going well if you guys need catering. Oh, home of the famous sticky wings, award-winning sticky wings.
Oh, you know I was going to mention them sticky wings.
Honey, you better tell it. You already know.
Oh, yes. Those are the best sticky wings. Let me tell you, the best sticky wings this side of the Mason-Dixon line, okay? Let me tell you.
Either side of the Mason-Dixon. If you want some, I'm about all that smoke when it comes to them wings. You want to challenge whoever, let's bring that. Come on, I'm from Baltimore. You should already know. You should already know. We ain't never scared over here. Whoever got them wangs, come see us.
Look, not wings.
Wangs, bro, no.
They are wangs.
Wangs. Yes. And you are able to now purchase sticky sauce on our website, so feel free to buy it. Because, honey, you can put that shit on everything.
Oh!
Everything.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you for letting me know. Yes. Purchase sticky wing sauce. Yes. See, I didn't even know that. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, see, now that you're the first person I've actually said that to.
There we go. Yes. Oh, I'm going to get mine. You know that. Okay, so now Breaking Bread.
Yes.
Now, the Breaking Bread, how long has Breaking Bread been around?
We started in 2014, and it's interesting. I worked in reentry for 25 years prior, between New York and Maryland. And I am someone who is of service, so I'm really dedicated to making sure that our people are taken care of. So I did that for 20 plus years. And then I kind of transitioned into healthcare and was afforded the opportunity to work at a high level in healthcare. I've worked on Lobby Road near the White House with regard to different agencies, and got sick. And so I always talk about providence in people's lives, and, you know, really understanding that it's really not so much you, or as I should say, me, that is so special. It's just that, you know, things were ordained and placed in, you know, as far as I look at it. And so I was supposed to have a 2-hour outpatient surgery, fast forward 10 hours, 2 surgical teams, and wound up giving my husband my last will and testament in my hospital bathroom. And I remember my number one thing was when I didn't want to die in darkness. It was around 3:00 in the morning. And because I had come, you know, it's so funny, because I worked in healthcare and I was still involved in healthcare, I had a suite that overlooked Orleans Street. And if anybody's from Baltimore, you guys know, like, the city that lays behind Orleans Street is beautiful, like, especially when it's at night and the lights are on and, you know, and that was my view. But I was like, you know, I don't want to die in darkness. I want to, you know, greet the sun and let me leave in light. And when I came to, I was like, I'm never going to do what doesn't make my heart sing, which is something that I used to always tell my clients when I worked, you know, with people who were coming home from prison or who, you know, had substance abuse issues or who were just vulnerable for whatever it was. Because at the end of the day, this is life. You know what I mean? Like, people take for granted that you're going to wake up in the morning and you go through this rigmarole of your day. But in essence, this moment in time, I'm never going to get back. And so that's why I'm like, when you know, you were like, I get to be a guest on Tyese show. Like, hell yeah, honey. Like, I get to be a part of your moment. You share that with me. And so, you know, it's really important that people realize how precious time is, because there are two things that you can't get. You cannot make more of, and that's land and time. And so if you can get your hands on any piece of it, by all means, go all in. And so Breaking Bread started from my hospital bed. I started it there. My family got behind me, and it just took off. We started with farmers markets and food festivals. We sold all my living room furniture got taken out. We had shelves. I had a 40-pound deep fryer, a 6-foot griddle in my living room. And we would schlep it through the city for, festivals. And I made the sticky sauce. And who knew? Who knew? And so we got, I started calling friends who worked at, Care First. Shout out to my girls, the administrative assistants at Care First. And I was like, yo, I'm doing dinners on Friday. So if you get me 10 orders, I'll give you yours free. And so they get me 10 meals. And it's always, I'm going to tell people, it's so hard. Your best clients will not be your friends and family. I know people say that all the time. Yeah. But that's so true. But I was fortunate enough that I had people who, I don't know if they did it for the free meal or, whatever, but I got those 10 clients. And so in order to doing that, put me in position for somebody at the post office to see. And somebody who was like, do you want to do corporate catering? And I'm like, I didn't know shit about corporate catering. I ordered corporate catering. Yes, exactly. I said yes. And so, just fast forward, we had to wind up getting a kitchen. The kitchen was in a building that was already set up for a restaurant. I was like, let's open the restaurant. We opened in 2 weeks. We opened Small Business Saturday, November 2014. We were named top 10 new restaurant. The next year we were named best business for our community work. Food Network said we're #1 in the state. We've been in multiple publications. But the best part of what we have been able to do, and I say this unequivocally, hands down, God is my witness, is the fact that we have been able to mentor thousands of kids, that we have donated over 100,000 meals during 2020 alone in our partnership with Jose Andres and World Central Kitchen. Us being able to earn the right to the life we live in our community was just a blessing upon blessing upon blessing. And so, so the food's good. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, we do that. Yes, we're great at that. And we do all kinds. We're a scratch kitchen. Yes, we are a scratch kitchen. We hire, we train, we do, cooking classes, all of those things. But it's really what we're doing in the community. And so this new location, we have space where we're going to be offering people the opportunity to try their hand at what their craft is in terms of food. And so with COVID, you had so many people who opened up and decided, I make good fried chicken, or, I make good banana pudding, and you want to see if you can make a business out of that. And so going what we went through, honey, that's a whole separate show. But to offer someone the opportunity to try it without betting the farm is really what we're looking for. So, yeah.
That was amazing. That was amazing to offer that.
We tried. We wanted that. And that's what we needed. And so nobody's going to look out for us but us. Don't get me wrong. We've had so much support. And I cannot thank all of the people throughout the city who've had our back, who've prayed for us, who stood up in a community meeting and supported us, who sat on a board and said, this, or, organizations said, let us cater for you. All of that's appreciated. But I'm one small business in this city, and it's so many more people who do just as much work better than me, whose craft. And I say that from a humble position because, I used to always tell my kids, a wise person knows they don't know everything. And I've tasted other people's stuff, and I've been like, damn, that's good. I can't even front, that's good. The crab soup at Urban Oyster, oh my God, is just... cream of crab. I wait every season for that. And I make cream of crab soup, I should say. But yeah, to my girl, yes, honey, I'm working on that. But for right now, she holds the title. So yeah, we in this together, and it's enough for everybody. And we really need to just, support and encourage and uplift one another, which is why I'm so grateful, for the platform that you have, and for people to really see the ability of stepping out on faith and, putting yourself out there. And I mean, you did this. Like, you know, when they talk about you did that, like, real talk, you did that. And
I appreciate it.
We not no spring chicken. So, you know, shout out to can I get some? Yeah, like, you know, it's so important because you're living in that moment. I'm on your show. Like, you know what I mean? That's phenomenal. And I'm honored. So
yeah. Now, I mean, and you made several good points. I mean, you know, we're still here. You know, so don't just exist, live.
Yep.
You know, it's so important. We can't get time back.
Yep.
You
and
know,
people don't understand that. It's so weird. I remember when I started the restaurant, I bought the buildings, and a lady told me, she was like, you know, was I sure? Was I nervous? And she was like, you know, less than 7% of restaurants are owned by females and chefs, and less than 3% are minority. And I'm like,
I didn't realize that.
Neither did I. But like that, I don't know. Like, maybe the Baltimore in me is just not easily intimidated, or it could be the fact that, you know, I'm Hattie Mae Jackson and Deborah Williamson's granddaughter. Like, I just, you know, yeah, like, what you got? Like, that's it? Like, come on, we about that. Come on, yo. Really gonna have to come with a little more than that. So, I don't know.
And now give us the address. Look, addresses.
Okay, so it's 220 through 222 Park Avenue. 224 will be a separate entity. We are actually pulling demo permits, so we should be able to break ground soon. So yeah, I'm really excited and just grateful that after the couple of years that we've had, that I'm still here, family's still intact, and
yes,
the people that I love are doing well and thriving and stepping out on faith and, you know, showing, you know, putting that presence out there, because it's so important. I will say this. I remember I was in a magazine, a publication, either the Baltimore Sun or Cuisine Noir. But one of those publications, I remember going through, it was the paper, because I was going through line at a restaurant supply store, and the lady was like, "You were in the paper?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Me and my daughter cut your article out and hung it on her wall." And she said, when we see Black women who do, you know, great things, that we put that on her wall of inspiration. And I started crying. And the guy behind me, he was like, "Are you crying?" I was like, "You have no idea what that means." And so for everybody out there who's really like getting up and trying and really, in essence, doing it without the credit and not thinking that you're making a difference, always remember there's someone watching you. Always remember that someone's looking up to you. Always remember that someone wants to be able to do what you're able to do, and they just need to be able to see somebody else do it. And so don't give up. Like, keep striving. Like, what you're doing, man, come on, yo. You know how many little girls are in their room, you know, that want to be able to have a voice, that want to present themselves to the world and define their own narrative. And you're doing that, and you're showing your daughters how to do that, and my daughters how to do that. Hell, you're showing me how to do that. So, you know, yeah, it's deeper than people give, you know, it credit for. Like, every action has a meaning, and it has a impact, and, you know, really respect the space that you keep and the ripple that you create. So,
well, it's about remaining humble, and you mentioned gratitude.
Right. Earn the right. Stay humble, but earn the right to brag.
Oh, wait a minute, say it again.
Stay humble. Choose to be humble, but earn the right to brag.
I like that. Choose to be humble, but earn the right to brag.
Yes.
Perfect.
Thank
you. And that's a Kim Ellis original.
That's an Ellis-ism. Yes.
Ellis-ism. Yeah.
That is an Ellis-ism.
I hear that. I like that.
But
all right. Well, speaking of which, I want to move into you being co-host at Women Talk Live. So tell us about Women Talk Live.
Honey, us as women, we always, yes, because that is, okay, so Beyonce has Sasha Fierce and I have KO Boogie. So that's my on-air personality. But it really, shout out to April Hall and Sassy's, you know, Sandra Harris. It's just, I started with Kenda Bell, Sassy, and April. Okay. And we started on WPB Networks. And it was just an opportunity for me to, you know, come in and really have some synergy with some sisters and talk, shit and. Can I say shit? I'm sorry.
No, you just
talk
did.
Stuff. I'm sorry.
You just did.
That's why we edit. But yeah. But it was, so when I came on board, they were already, a unit, but I had come on and done a couple of shows and, we picked up, I think I did it for like maybe 2 years and it was really awesome. Mm-hmm. But then, of course, life takes you in different directions. Mm-hmm. And now we're in season 12 and I'm back on and it's us. And I swear from the first day, like we saw each other, it was like not a day had passed. It was awesome. Just the energy and the Black girl magic that you talk about and that sister synchronicity. Yes. You know what I mean? Like that vibe is there and it just comes across and it's been amazing. We're currently taping new episodes and I'm really fortunate. I'm really fortunate to see where life takes me. All of the kids are grown and I'm in a new place. I was telling somebody, I was like, so like 50 is like the new 21. So, no, but here's why. Check it out. So please bombard her if you feel what I'm about. If you're picking up what I'm putting down right now, let me know. So check it. So the reason I say that is because when you're 21, like even like before 21, you're like really gung-ho about 21 because you want to, be legal. You can do everything you want.
Right.
However, you don't really have money and you don't really have you don't really have a firm, foundation in terms of a career or education. You haven't decided who you're going to partner with. So you still kind of have some level of decorum because you can't make a hoe in a housewife. So you want to make sure that you're presenting correctly, not that I'm not slut shaming anyone, but I'm just saying hoe goes both ways, male and female. But I'm just saying, that, you're looking to partner and have kids. And now at 50, I got my own money. I'm educated. Mm-hmm. All my kids are grown, so I've had those. I'm not having any more. Thank you very much. And so now it's just like I won the lottery. And so it's like it's so weird because so it's freeing. I recommend 50 for anybody out there who ever thought of achieving such a goal. I can't wait to see what the next decades are. Everybody else who's older than me, by all means, let me know the lay of the land. But I am enjoying this ride so much. Mm-hmm. It is so awesome to just, really focus on happiness and peace and the elevation of yourself. Mm-hmm. And that's not something that you can necessarily focus on when you're young and you're struggling and you're building. And now you have that.
Right. Because when you're young, it's just like this. It's like a 1,000-piece puzzle sitting in front of you. You know what I mean?
Yes.
and look, 70% of it is similar colors.
Like, no edges.
Right? No edges. Exactly. It's like everybody's just kind of feeling their way through. But take it from two women here that are vintage
and seasoned.
Exactly.
Oh,
that we're living. I mean, and it's because it's this foundation of working hard, working smart, learning after you've worked hard that you really should be working smart.
Definitely that.
You stumble and you will fail and you will fail and you will fail again. And you know what? You embrace those. You embrace
from them
because you
learn
lessons. From them. They're lessons, exactly. Yeah. You pick yourself up, you dust yourself off. Little Jay-Z, brush your shoulders off, yes. and you get back on the horse, so to speak, and you ride again. And this is what you do, and regardless of where we come from, and I go back to Serena. And Venus, Williams is, come on, Compton, y'all. Come on, Compton, California. You know what I mean? There was no silver spoon for them to be handed, and, the same for us. We're here, we're doing it in Baltimore, Maryland. And this is by no means an easy place, you know, to put in, you know, to put in the work, you know, because there's so much to be concerned about outside of what you're doing, you know, outside of your work. You know, I mean, we have kids, you know, you tend to worry about them, you know, living in Baltimore. And don't get me wrong, Baltimore has so many good pieces and parts, you know, about it. Like, for instance, Breaking Bread restaurant. And people like Kimberly Ellis and Humanity Organization. But it's rough. It's rough here.
It is.
You know? And so if you find and you should look for, you know, organizations like Humanity, resources, you know, people like Kim Ellis to team up with, because when it comes to business, when it comes to learning the ropes, when it comes to even growing up, you know, just like you said, and shout out to the mom of the daughter that put that, you know, that put the newspaper clipping on the wall. Because, girl, you raising I hope you see this. You raising her right. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? She needs to see that. She needs to see people like Kimberly Ellis. All young women do. They need to see women like Serena Williams. You know,
Tyese
Whitson.
Yes, thank you very much.
You know, all young girls do, you know, and you know, I've said before, like in my mental health counseling, I work with everyone. So it doesn't matter if they're male, female. And my youngest baby girl she's 9, and then my oldest is 69. My oldest, you know, client is 69. So, you know, with it, it's like we seem to sometimes always need that help and that uplifting, you know, because I've said it time and time again. We are a product of our experiences and our upbringing. You know, it starts to dictate who you become. However, okay, all of that can still be transformed. Okay, you can always go from charcoal to diamond.
Pressure.
However, exactly, the pressure has to happen.
But so we were talking about, you know, the therapeutic aspect of, you know, how we navigate and balance ourselves, so to speak. And so you just gave a list of all the things that we as women do. And so I think that for us, at least I can speak for myself at the age that I am, that now I'm in a space where the need from me is not as great towards others, towards the things that I took responsibility for. So, you know, making sure that, you know, my husband and my kids were okay, my mom's okay. So now the kids are grown, and, you know, my husband, you know, we take care of him, and, you know, my mom, we take care of her. But there's now time to focus on the fact that there were needs that I had that didn't get met because I'm so busy, you know, taking out of this well for other people. And so now 50 is a really enlightening time in terms of being able to take care of oneself without being selfish, and really understanding that self-maintenance is important.
Yes, it is.
Because we do so much for, you know, for so many people. And I just think that it's the whole thing of having it all. I think just, you know, managing your time and your expectations is important. And really letting other people know what those boundaries are, and not from a level of, you know, I won't be doing this for you anymore, but this is what I need to do for me. And most people
say it again.
If you put that in front of them, you know, the shock of, so wait, I'm not getting this done, you know, may hit them. But initially, you know, if it's someone who's true to you, who cares about what you're going through, and, you know, you as a person, they're not just using you, then they would have to understand that, you know,
that's right.
It's kind of like my phone. It has to recharge. So I plug it in at night. And I go to bed at night, and I swear, I think about how many people, all of us, humans, dogs, like everybody has to sleep and charge.
Everybody
and
has to
it's
recharge.
Weird because at like 2:00 in the morning when I'm up, I'm just like, the world's asleep. And there are thousands of people who have shut down and unplugged and are just like in stasis to recharge. And so if that has to happen, then we have to understand that we as women have to charge, because we are the outlet. We are the source of power for everything else.
Exactly.
So yeah, we need an actual, us being the outlet, we need to take, we need a charge. I need a hot shot.
Right. We all do. You bring so many great points. You make so many great points. So really quick now, how is all of your skills, talents, abilities, everything you've been doing, how is it therapeutic for you?
I love helping people. I really feel like the things that I've been through in life have a purpose and a meaning if they're a benefit to someone else. If I can tell someone else that where you are is not where your story ends, that this is how you can get from here to there, because I did it. And, give somebody hope, then like I said before, you got to earn the right to the life you live. You got to understand that everything that's done to you isn't about you. And some things are just done so that you have that ability to help somebody else.
Yes.
And that's not, people are they want help, but when it comes time for them to be inconvenienced, nobody wants to walk and not ride the bus. We're not back in those days. Nobody wants to, boycott, this or that because of their political affiliation, or they support this, We're not a country or a people of inconvenience. But yeah, I mean, at some point you really just have to be conscious of who you are and what your legacy is going to be.
And what your legacy is going to be.
Because we all leave one.
Yes. It's like, what do you want said about you when your time comes?
That dash. It's all about the dash.
What is your epitaph going to read?
Those numbers mean nothing. That beginning, that 19 whatever, that 20 whatever, that means nothing. The most important item on your casket, on your tombstone, is the dash, because the dash is everything that could not be included from point A to point B. And it's like, mark my words, I'm gonna have either a library, if they're still valid, I don't know if given technology, I don't know, or a park or something, but just I just want to help my people. I just want to help somebody who really doesn't see the God in them, the beauty in them, the fact that that redemption, we're a country of Christians for the most part, and so we talk about redemption, and if you're the worst thing that you've ever done at whatever age, like, what value do you have after that if you can't do better, if you can't redeem yourself? That's real. If we don't give people that opportunity to reinvent and to be better once they have the opportunity to be better. Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
Nuggets. Kim Ellis has given them
you are hilarious.
Plenty. Y'all, you know what? You need to watch this more than once.
Wow.
Pull out a piece of paper and pencil. Okay. And bullet point. Write key points down. Miss Kim Ellis, you have done so much, and you continue, and legacy you will leave. Okay. I appreciate you coming on to the show. I love you too. Sisterhood, Black Girl Magic. Yes.
We will not say how long we've known each other, since 9th grade. We'll leave it at that.
Right. We're all here for it. So thank you for watching the Tyese Show News and Ooze. Please do not forget to download the Coyoteman Show online.com, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, your mobile apps, and in that way you get to see moi every week.
It's worth it.
What's good? It's your boy Squirrel Wide. Hey, you know where I'm gonna be September 10th? I'm gonna be right here at Clifton Park for the Riff on the Cliff Fest. Brought to you by Fat Brand and Iconic. It's gonna be crazy. It's all featuring Dream Dog, Young Moose, Rough Ends. Who else gonna be there? Scola, IZM 400, Brett Sears, Miami Mills, BRM Stunton, Lil Ty. A little bit of everybody's gonna be there. Big festival, 2 stages. You don't want to miss it. You need any information on it? All you gotta do is go riffonthecliffest.org. See you there, Big Mouth.
Fat Brand presents the first annual Riff on the Cliff Music and Arts Festival, featuring Dream Doll, Young Moose, Scola Dinero of Blue Hill, J Grams, Ruffin, and many, many more. All happening Saturday, September 10th at 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. It's all happening at Clifton Park, 2801 Harford Road. Get your tickets today at riffonthecliffest.org. Sponsored in part by Iconic Entertainment and the Funds Unlimited Group.